Hey everyone, my name is Leos Govio and I'm an active Amazon seller. I've been in the space since 2007. The first product I sold was on eBay. It was a pair of shoes that I was importing from China at the time. And since then, I really got attracted by this e-commerce industry. Back in 2007, I immigrated to Canada when I started working with my family business. And at the time, I was just offered a data entry job. But shortly after, my family asked me what I wanted to do in the company. And my question was, what's the job that pays the most? And I found out that SEO was actually one of those jobs. So shortly after, I got graduated in the SEO as an SEO expert with different companies that at the time were doing courses on SEO. And I discovered I was very, very curious about how things worked. In fact, when I was a child, I received a radio as a gift from my parents for Christmas. And shortly after, I just disassembled the whole thing because I wanted to understand how the radio worked. So I'm a very curious person, which led me to where I am today. I really love studying how algorithm works, how the search engines perform in the back end, so that I can really control my output when it comes to selling on Amazon or Google. And so within my family business, not only I became the SEO lead over there, we're talking about Google at the time, but also I became a data analytics expert. I was working with Adobe Analytics Solutions, which is probably the single most important thing that helped me understand what kind of data points the search engines collect in the back end when it comes to eventually positioning your product or websites based on data that they collect and based on engagement metrics that your website collects. And so when I started selling on Amazon in 2015, I had an edge start at the time because I was very comfortable in the way that the Amazon algorithm worked. And so I was inspecting the source code on a daily basis, trying to figure out when you add the product to cart or when you actually visit a product listing, what actually Amazon was collecting in the back end. And I remember before even launching a product, I was building bots to manipulate that. Let's keep this, confidential. And so I launched my first product in the beauty space back then, which at the time the industry was not, or that niche was not very competitive. So it was easier for me to rank products. And over time, though, I did see a huge difference, a huge improvement in the way that search engines were actually looking at product listings. And the way that us as sellers had to improve over time and kind of become more sophisticated in the way that we optimize our products. And so here we are today, looking at the way the A9 algorithm works in order to understand how to launch products and be successful with it. Now, during my journey, I had the opportunity to work with different software companies. I also helped develop one of the keyword research tools in the past. And in 2019, I also founded Combomat, which probably some of you know or used, which was specifically built to automate launches. Then the Amazon TOS changed, and so we had to kind of pivot. And I'm actually happy to announce that in about a month or so, I'm launching Spliced, which is an influencer marketing and affiliate collaboration tool that has the goal to help brands and sellers connect with creators and with the purpose to build their own network of influencers. So this, in my opinion, is one of the best strategies that sellers can use to boost rankings or launch products. But let's come to the Amazon A9 algorithm. You already went through the basics with Kevin King on the A9 algorithm, and let's make it clear that keywords are very important in your listing. Using tools like QUYYN to find the right keywords, to analyze the competition, and place the right keywords in your product listing is the most important thing. right? If you don't have the right keywords in your listing, you're not going to be found. And most important, you want to find the keywords with high conversion rates, right? So you have to make sure that your listing is optimized for the right keywords. What you need to keep in mind as well is that these keywords need to be relevant to each other. Don't just stuff keywords in your listing that probably you found on your competitor listing and you don't even know if they are the right keywords to target. You want to do your own research. You want to look at these keywords thoroughly. You want to analyze search volume, search frequency rank, the purchase rate. You want to see, for example, what's the market share of these keywords. So don't look only at the search volume, but see if these keywords have potential to generate sales. This is the most important thing to do when you are optimizing your listing. Use these keywords in your title, in the bullet points, in the descriptions, as well as in the images. Images, I'll go through this a little bit more in depth later on, but the images play a very crucial role when it comes to the relevance of your listing. And so make sure that your listing is well optimized for these keywords. It's important to also understand that Amazon is making a shift more towards AI-based, search and semantic-based search. So the algorithm keeps evolving. So it's very important that when you select these keywords as well, you look at the relevance of these keywords compared to each other, right? If you look at, for example, buckets of toys, one bucket contains stuffed animals, one bucket contains just cars. They're both toys, right? You can consider them, you would place them under the same probably category, right? But not the subcategory, right? One is probably belongs to the stuffed animals, one belongs to cars, small toys, or something relevant to it. So the semantic relevance here is very different, right? So you start with your keyword research tool, go in Helium 10, filter your keywords based on your criteria, and then remember to give it another extra look, another filter on top based on the relevance of these keywords to your product. This is very important to understand before we move forward into more advanced search criteria, which is more semantically driven. The word semantic doesn't have to scare you. It's actually just a way that the search engine uses to understand if two keywords are related to each other. And so when you apply this concept, you'll see that your listing will tend to be a lot more relevant, especially based on the new score that the algorithm is using to understand what this listing is about. So over time, the Amazon algorithm changed in a good way, in my opinion. But back in 2014 and 15, when I started selling on Amazon, rankings were purely based on keywords. So we were stuffing listings with different keywords that we were finding through different tools. And as a result, we were actually improving our rankings. Today, things have changed. Why? Because the Amazon algorithm is not just a static formula. The Amazon algorithm is dynamic, which means that they use millions of data points to understand and to, in real time, take the most important or most relevant product and position it right in front of the user when the user is potentially looking for that product. And so while before we were able to manipulate, in a way, the search engine by inserting in the listing some keywords that we thought were the most relevant based on some search data that we were collecting. Today, the algorithm is actually looking at the relevance of these products in a semantic context. What does it mean? In other words, we are living now in an era where the algorithms are powered by AI. they understand the user intent, and they're able to predict what kind of queries this user is going to perform or search on the website. And given that prediction, they are proposing and they are presenting results to the user based on these data points. When you log in your Amazon seller buyer account, actually, Amazon has already a lot of details about yourself, such as your location, your search history, and given these data points alone, they can present to you results that are different from someone that is located somewhere else. This is because the inventory, for example, that is closer to you, or to the warehouse closer to you, is perhaps less than what's available in the New York location. And so that ranking, for example, for that product can be higher, closer to New York, and lower in California. And so these are all things that today make the algorithm a lot more sophisticated. We don't know exactly how many data points Amazon is using, but we do know that there are very important metrics that they look at. In my opinion, the most important is the relevance of the product. And by relevance, we look at the title, we look at the description, we look at the different bullet points, the images, which is something that before nobody really looked at. Today, in my opinion, the images are one of the most important things, as well as videos. I'm giving a lot of presentations recently on the way that the images today, or even videos, play a crucial role on the rankings. The reason is that with AI, we can see today that there are very sophisticated ways, especially if you look at companies like NVIDIA, to detect objects and subjects in a video or an image in real time, right? You can see this kind of technology is also available in the airports, for example, right? So when Amazon today is indexing and crawling a listing, they not only see what you have in your title, in your bullet points, and your description, they also see your videos, they see your images, and they can detect the subjects and the images and the text on these videos and the videos and images, right? In order to calculate this SEO score of your listing, and therefore the relevance overall of your listing to the keywords that you are looking to rank for. Other things that Amazon looks at are product price, obviously, sales history, add to carts, as well as the click-through rate on your listing. Obviously, when it comes to the click-through rate, again, the images play an important role. And so today, when it comes to launching products, re-ranking products, it's very important to understand what, like the landscape, the market, understand what the competition is doing in order for us to do better. But also, we need to have a very good understanding of the technology that is available today. PHI is doing a great job using AI when it comes to the keyword research, when it comes to creating listings and bullet points with AI. And this is very important because there was a podcast that was recently released by PHI. You should actually listen to it, where they cover a lot of details about the A9 algorithm and the semantic relevance. This is something very important for us sellers today, because there is a shift to semantic search, which is very different, like I mentioned so far, right? We were used to just rank or optimize our listing based on keywords. Today, if you search on Amazon for garden hose or just the word hose, the results are the same. That's because those keywords, those two words, are in the same semantic network. We don't want to make things complex. But when it comes to writing a listing, when it comes to finding keywords, one of the things that you should do is look at these keywords all together, use your brain to give these keywords a meaning. An example that I always give in my presentations actually is about a supplement product being sold on Amazon. we're talking about here two different sellers selling the same product. And what I noticed is that one of them was actually using the keyword Kim Kardashian in the back end, hoping to target the audience looking for Kim Kardashian weight loss pills. Now, the reason why this keyword even came along is because back in the days, probably 2-3 years ago, there were a bunch of affiliate marketers promoting Kim Kardashian weight loss pills through different advertorial pages. And so what Amazon sellers do normally, they look at trends on the web and they launch products on Amazon. So this guy was probably an affiliate marketer promoting a Kim Kardashian weight loss pill on Amazon, and he was ranking for that keyword. However, when I looked for just weight loss pills, this product was nowhere to be found.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ Thailand Hand, từ trên Scout, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.
And now, here is what I wanted to pay attention. Because although this guy was basically riding the wave when it comes to keywords related to Kim Kardashian, right? Like he actually was missing out on a lot more searches for just the words weight loss or weight loss pills together. The reason why Amazon didn't consider this product as relevant as the other one is because when you add in your listing a keyword that is not semantically connected to the rest of the keywords that you're trying to rank for, or that that product is about, you're actually going to dilute negatively your relevance for that keyword. And so by adding the word Kim Kardashian in the back end, what he did, we actually diluted the relevance of this product for the main seed or the main root keyword, which is weight loss pills. And so my advice to you is to always stay on topic. Going after trendy keywords, it might temporarily help you, for example, during the holiday seasons, but I suggest to always keep your listing up to date. This is another thing that the Amazon algorithm actually looks at and promotes. In fact, if you pay attention and you do some analysis on, for example, products that have been around for a while, that have been launched in 2015, 16, 17, you'll notice that those that have been updated constantly eventually ended up dying. And the reason is that they eventually lose relevance. There are other products that probably launched more recently that are doing much better, even if they have perhaps less reviews. And the reason is that they are actually feeding the Amazon algorithm with the right data points that Amazon likes to see. The most important one, for example, is sales, right? If we don't have a good sales history, we eventually are going to lose rankings. And so when it comes to making sure that our launch or our, for example, relaunch works well and we are consistent with sales, we have to ensure that the listing is always relevant. We get clicks on the listing, we get sales, and we keep driving traffic to it. Recently, one of the most important ways to rank products has become external traffic. You guys probably have heard of the Google traffic back in, like a couple of years ago, and now it's all about the TikTok traffic. These are all inputs that the Amazon algorithm likes to see, and that's why we say it's very hard to understand exactly how the algorithm works. But it's important to understand that the Amazon algorithm looks at so many different data points, and those that tell you that they can guarantee your position, number one, it's most likely not true. Or in a way or another, down the road is going to affect your listing negatively. And so my recommendation here is to start with the basics. Kevin King does a good job explaining how the algorithm works and what are all the main data points, the basic data points that you should be optimizing for. But then try to dive a little bit deeper into the actual semantic aspects of it. Knowing that we're living in an era driven by AI, right? Everything is backed by AI. And so if you understand how AI today is able to look at an image, look at a product, and score it based on some basic data points or a basic formula, then you're able to make your product stand out in even in a very competitive niche. Just the other day, someone messaged me on Facebook saying that they needed my help because someone was actually outranking them. And when she looked at the listing, she noticed that this competitor actually had metadata stored in their images. They had alt tags, and for this reason alone, they were able to outrank this other seller. The reason why that happened is because there are a few factors there that will make the listing more relevant. Obviously, having metadata in the listing, in the images, help the search engines understand what that image is about. When I looked at the images, they actually contained the name of the product. And so for the algorithm, it was easier to scan these images and understand what these images were about, and if they were actually relevant to the product being promoted or being sold. And number three, I did actually notice that these images were actually also ranked on Google. And so she was getting a lot of traffic. Well, our competitor was getting a lot of traffic from Google as well. And so by doing this competitor was actually outranking her because of a very sophisticated and advanced optimization technique. We often oversee this because we studied this back in 2015 and 16, especially when it comes to image optimization. I remember probably ASM 6 or 7 talking about how to optimize the images for the search engine. But today, I'm afraid that not everyone actually looks at it or does it the right way. The reason is that if you launched the product a few years ago, most likely Amazon has optimized your images multiple times for speed, for better indexation. And so if you uploaded your images to your listing perhaps a couple of years ago, maybe you lost the metadata that these images contain because of that optimization that Amazon does on a daily basis. I think about it, Amazon has millions of products on the website. When you load any search results page or any page on Amazon, it loads in a split second. And that is also thanks to their optimization techniques. So when an image gets uploaded, they optimize it. And often you also realize that it loses, for example, quality, right? So when that happens, most likely some data gets stripped off of the image, right? And so you have to make sure that here and there you check your listings, you check your images, you have your alt tags in your images, especially your metadata, because that is going to help not only the Amazon A9 algorithm to understand more about your listing and the semantic relevance, but also is going to help you get traffic from outside search engines, like, for example, Google, which is very, very, very important for your rankings over time. One other thing is that you have to keep in mind as well is the price that plays a very important role in the A9 algorithm. And this is because Amazon looks at your price point in a context, in a segment of a similar product. And they need to understand if your product is actually worth being more expensive or perhaps cheaper. And so one mistake that a lot of sellers make when they launch products is that they either price it too low because they need to launch it. And so for the first 30 or 60 days, they price it low and then they hope to increase the price over time. Now, unfortunately, what happens there is that Amazon is learning about your product and the product, that's the sale price. And so when you increase your price, you no longer belong to that bracket. For example, Amazon is putting products in brackets of $0 to $10, 11 to 19, and 20 to 29. And so if you're priced in, for example, bracket to $11 to 20, and then you increase your products. Now, Amazon doesn't have enough data about your ASIN on the third tier, right? On the third bracket. And therefore, what happens is most of the time, especially after your honeymoon period is finished, you tend to lose rankings. And that is most likely due to that factor. So what we normally do when we actually launch products, we launch at the price that the target price, the price that we aiming to sell this product for, the next year or two. And so we then discount eventually the product. So we try to sell at the beginning as many as we can at that price point before applying a coupon or before applying a discount. This will help the Amazon algorithm understand that your price is $29.99 and not $19.99, but you're offering a discount. This helps in two different ways. One, you'll most likely keep your rankings as long as you keep your sales after your launch period. But also, when you apply, obviously, a coupon code, you'll get higher click-through rates with this price, but you also get the badges, right? You get the best deal badge or best price badge. You get the strike two price. These are all things that will help you get a higher click-through rate, which will result in most likely more clicks and better conversion rate. So look at this as like from the outside a little, like with a magnifying lens. Look at how the website is built, what Amazon as a company is ultimately looking for, which is make more money, makes more sales, and think about this semantic relevance a little bit with more in more detail, because the future is it's all about semantic search. And if you understand how Amazon is going to prefer a product just based on relevance, you're going to be able to beat your competition because you'll be more relevant for the search engines. And so one thing that is very important to understand here is also to keep things dynamic all the time, fresh, because Amazon leverages this AI for their machine learning technology. Every day, their data points get updated. There are new products being launched. There are prices that are changing, on every second, right? There are so many things that change on the website, and so if you notice, for example, when you change a title, normally it takes about 10 minutes or 15 minutes to get updated, right? And if you, while before, we used to wait about a day or two to see potentially, a change in rankings. Today, you can see that actually within a few hours. So it's very important to monitor the search results page very frequently and to make changes based on what positive results you see. There's a lot more that we can cover when it comes to the A9 algorithm, but I want to keep this simple because it can get overwhelming. So feel free to stay in touch if you like to learn more about the Amazon algorithm and some advanced techniques that can help you boost your rankings. And I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, and I'll see you at the next one.
Anh chị đang bán hàng trên Amazon. Skyrock cung cấp các dịch vụ dành cho các nhà bán hàng trên Amazon với mức giá cực kỳ ưu đãi như đăng ký brand với USPTO, từ PHÂI, từ cho dầu cao, logistics và warehouse. Xem hình thông tin chi tiết dưới phần mô tả nhé.